Besides, you're saying it wrong. It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Let's get you out of here, Buzz.
Don't you get it? You see the hat? I am Mrs. Nesbit. Snap out of it, Buzz.
Look what I got. I got a jar of dirt. I got a jar of dirt. And guess what's inside it?
Taking my life, Usul. It is the only way.
I'm pointing the way.
I've really got to get you out of those clothes
Excuse me?
and into a black dress. Tell me, Doctor, do you like the circus?
Welcome back to the podcast that's falling down in my favorite podcast rankings after the intro that we just did. Get a load of this movie, a franchise movie podcast where we talk about movies that are a part of a franchise. That means 3 movies or more, and we are covering a franchise today that well surpasses that threshold. Not only do they have 3 movies, they have more than double that. Can you believe that? More than double. They have 7 movies now.
More than 6.
We are talking about Scream 7. That is right. If you want to, you can go back and listen to our other Scream episodes. Zach says don't, because he said he was wine drunk on the first one and doesn't like how he sounds. But you know what? That's just not how the history books are going to remember it. That's just not how the history books are going to remember it. But we have talked about all 6 of the Scream movies, and now the 7th one is out, and here we are talking about it. Cole just cracked open a beer. But
Dilly.
before we get started, my name is Corey, and I am joined by 2 co-hosts. Please introduce yourselves for the people.
Hey, what's up? I'm Cole.
That's nice to have that back. It's like, the nostalgia of, hey, what's up, I'm Cole. It's like the early days of the podcast. It's kind of like what they're doing in Scream 7 here. It's like, bring it back. Play the hits.
But you can introduce yourself.
The better days when we were in season 1. We're in season 4 now. I'm Zach as well.
Whoa, Zach.
Whoa.
Nice to meet you. So we are talking about Scream 7. I don't know if we have anything. There's nothing on the document that has something before. So you know what? Without further ado, we're just going to kick this podcast off. Going to do you all a favor with the call sheet.
Hello. You don't know me, but I know you. I want to play a game. There is only one key to open the device. It's in the stomach of your dead cellmate. You better hurry up. Live or die. Make your choice.
We're going to do them. This is us doing them a favor.
Just moving it along. That's what we're doing. That's the favor.
We
We're
love
just moving
doing
it
them a
along.
favor.
So hot off the press, I just saw this movie. Literally got out of it about an hour ago. So this is fresh. Wasn't able to do a ton. Probably could have done this call sheet because I didn't get the idea until I was in the movie, but the call sheet, I didn't really need to see the movie, so I could have done it yesterday, and that would have solved a lot of problems.
That must have been so stressful for you in the middle of the movie, knowing that you had to come up with a call sheet in the hour between.
God.
You must have been sweating in that theater.
Sometimes when we do that, I'll do something where I don't necessarily have to see the movie and it has nothing to do with like the specific points that happen in the movie. But with this one, I was like, we've seen enough of them. Like I want to do something within it. But then I got a good idea while I was watching and realized that it had nothing to do with the specific points of the movie. It was just tied around the movie. But without further ado, we're going to get into it. Because I only had an hour to put together all my takes and a call sheet and find who my favorite person was and give it a rating, I only have 3 questions. Okay? No bonus. There's no 4. It's 3 questions, and you guys are going to text me your answers. But this is a little bit of a different game. Okay? Now stick with me, Cole. Lean in. This is called Blind Resume. I noticed while we were watching this movie, well, I was watching it by myself, along with the handsome couple that was sitting next to me that were so nice. They shared a little bit of their popcorn. God bless them. Corey, this
were you
movie,
in a threesome?
this movie,
were you invited into a threesome?
This movie had a star-studded cast. There was every single time I saw someone, it was like the Leo meme. We're like, oh, there they are, and so I thought, why not see if my fellow co-hosts, my friends, can point them out of a blind resume crowd. So I have put together 3 people. I have listed out their resumes, and I have 4 hints. And so if you get it on the first one, you get 4 points. You get it on the second one, you get 3, and so on. And if you don't get it, you get 0 points. If you get it on the 4th hint, which should be the easiest one, you get 1 point. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we are going to start off. Zach, do you have any questions? You didn't say yes, sir. I noticed that.
He
I
was
felt
kind
a
of
little
stuck
bit
on-
disrespectful.
I was kind of stuck on you getting popcorn from a stranger. I was kind of sitting
There's a-
through and kind of combing through the different possibilities of how that could have come to pass.
It's just a handsome couple. So we're going to go. We're going to go through the 3 questions I have. Zach, are you ready? Cole, are you ready?
Yes.
Let's start out. This actor or actress has 7 notable TV show roles. This actor or actress has 7 notable TV show roles. That is your first hint. You do not lose points for guessing and wrong. Okay,
Can I don't remember
encourage
the
guessing.
character. I will not remember the character names, and I will not remember the actor names.
You can,
This
if
is
you can
tough.
give any sort of description on who they are,
Okay.
either within the movie or if you remember their
7
name, or if you remember
notable.
another role that they're in.
Let me ask
like,
you
that's
something.
fine
When you
too.
said that, do you mean they've been in 7 different TV shows, or they've been in more than 7, but 7 of the roles are notable?
So they've most likely been in more than 7. Okay, they're from IMDb. It was like they are known for, and they listed these shows. I did
About
get
that.
an answer from Cole. We do have 3 more hints to get to. Zach, I might have to cut you off here, and we're going to move on to the third one. Last chance. Okay. Hint number 2. They are in one franchise not covered on the pod. This actor or actress is in one franchise that we have not covered on the pod. Cole, do you have a hint?
Would you have let us know if we got the answer,
Uh,
or would you just keep on going?
I was just going to keep on going, but do you
I
want
think
me to
keep on
do you want me
going.
to like or dislike your guys' message to say if that's right or wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, that way you know. Okay, let me start with Zach since I was
Oh.
already looking at his.
Okay, good.
And then
Because the
Cole.
second hint corroborated what I thought. So that
On to point number 3, or hint number 3. The recipient of the MTV Movie Award for Best Musical Moment in 2009. I'll say that again. The recipient of the MTV Movie Award for Best Musical Moment in 2009. And
Damn.
our last hint here, most known for the movie franchise where her character's name is Aubrey Posen.
I'm
You guys
not gonna
both
choke it down.
You both got that correct. Zach, you got 4 points. What was the answer?
Anna Camp.
Anna Camp. That is right. On to hints or resume number 2. Resume number 2.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna call it. Resume number 2. This actor or actress has 3 TV show appearances with only 1 starring role. The others were guest spots. This actor or actress has 3 TV show appearances with only 1 starring role. Others were guest spots. On to hint number 2. Scream 7 was this actor's or actress's major film debut. Sorry, reading is difficult. I'll say that again. Scream 7 was this actor or actress's major film debut.
This is still number 2. Like we're both.
This is still resume number 2.
Okay.
This is still resume number 2. Cole, I might have to cut you off here if you don't give me
One
an answer here
sec,
soon.
sending.
Odd.
Something
I
about
just
the way I'm
needed the-
tracking his eyes. I'm
I
tracking his
just needed
eyes.
the name. I just needed the name.
On to hit number 3. As of now, there are no awards or nominations for this actor.
Oh.
As of now, there are no awards or nominations for this actor.
Or you didn't let me know.
I know. I'm sorry. I just did. Okay. I have an answer from Zach. Cole, waiting on you again. On to last hint. This actor, this actor primarily has appeared on Amazon Prime.
There it is. You can see the moment where Cole caught up. Yeah.
Again, you can just describe the character. You do not have to supply the exact name. Please do not Google. Cole, you got this one right. Zach, you also got him right. Cole, what was this actor's name?
Asa German.
That is
German.
correct. Cole, you got that on the last one, so that is a point for you. Zach, you got it on the first. That is another 4 points for you. So Zach is up 8-3.
What is the other guest spot? Because I know The Boys, but
The Boys
second
and then
guest-
Dahmer. He was in one of the Dahmer TV shows as just like a cameo. I don't even know if it was
big
considered
Dahmer
a cameo.
guys on the pod. I'm assuming that.
On to the last blind
wasn't
resume we
overthinking it.
have here. Last blind resume we have here. This actor or actress has 10 recurring TV roles. This actor or actress has 10 recurring TV roles. This actor or actress has 10 recurring TV roles, and we're moving on to hint number 2. This actor or actress has numerous hosting roles and movie roles, including the 2009 film The Informant.
Everybody wants to. I didn't want to.
Hint number 3, primetime Emmy nominee in 2014 for The Soup, True Detective.
He was not on True Detective.
The Soup, True Detective. The Soup. Last
Is that
hint.
gonna be? Is that gonna
Starred-
be like anything close to the new Lantern show? You think?
The
maybe?
Soup or True Detective?
True
I heard it's going to
Detective.
be exactly like True. I don't know if you've seen
what
the.
James
That's so
Gunn said.
exciting. That's so exciting.
On to
Zach's
the last
still
hint.
so mad
On to the
about
last
that
hint for this
Flash
blind
comment.
resume. On to the last hint for this blind resume. Starred in a show alongside another Scream actor from Scream 4. You guys both already got this. Cole, you got this one first after 2, so that is 3 points for you. Zach, you got it after 3. Zach, who was this actor?
Joel McHale.
Joel McHale. You guys both guessed TV Scott Foley, and so I think that has something to do with my fascination with Scott Foley. That was a great guess.
Because he was on
but
Scrubs, and you love
he-
Scrubs.
He's actually in 2 other shows right now where he's got like starring roles. And so it's insane. TV Scott Foley is, and every single time I see him, I'm like, that's TV Scott Foley. And I said that today, and the handsome couple next to me patted me on the back. Anyway, Zach, congratulations on your win today. Let me mark that down. You are back tied 2-2. Cole, you are at 3-2. Zach is creeping up on you, but that is okay. We have another opportunity, not in the next episode, but the one after that. Until then, on to the action.
Even the opening scene, there's always some random girl who gets a call that undoubtedly ends up getting her killed. It's also predictable. There's no element of surprise. You can see everything coming.
Did that surprise you?
Why?
Because you talk too much. Now shut the fuck up and watch the movie.
Even the opening scene.
Now, Corey, I'm picking up that you were quite distracted by this handsome couple next to you. So do you need me to tell you what happens in this movie?
I mean, you can, but the guy next to me was just whispering play-by-play in my ear the entire time, so I kind of got the gist of what happened, but you can summarize it.
This is just odd.
This is an odd couple, Corey. I think.
They were not odd. They were very, very nice.
Hansy,
Whoa.
you said he patted you on the back.
All right, just go. Why don't you go ahead and do the summary?
Bull, Madison, and Stab superfan Scott vacation at Stu Macher's house. They are attacked and killed by Ghostface, who proceeds to burn Stu's house down. In Indiana, Sydney lives with her family, where her daughter Tatum's boyfriend comes to visit her Billy Loomis style and is promptly kicked out by Sydney, pissing her daughter off.
Sitting?
I get so tongue-tied when I do these.
Take your time. You're not on a clock here.
Oh no, you gotta pick Corey up at the airport, you know. The next day, while at work, Sydney gets
She's
a
at
call.
work.
Oh,
She flies. She commutes.
you said airport the other day.
No, I did not. I swear to God. Anyway, what happened?
You're
in this
mixing up.
movie?
You're mixing up the Attack of the Clones story. Go ahead.
Probably. The next day, while at work, Sydney gets a call from Ghostface and a FaceTime call from Stu claiming he is going to kill her daughter at school. Ghostface then kills Tatum's friend Hannah in a play stagehand. While packing up their house, Sydney, Tatum, and her husband Mark are attacked by Ghostface, who is seemingly killed by Gil Weathers, along with Chad and Mindy. With the killer revealed, Sydney and Gale investigate his past at a mental institution and learn he is not only a Tori Spellings fan, but was friends with Stu Macher from the attendant Marco. Did you guys see the Tori Spelling like model picture on the? I was like, anyway. Sydney decides to have Gail interview her on TV to draw Stu out. While with the help of Mindy and Chad, Tatum gathers her friends for the classic accusatory scene at a restaurant, while Sydney and Gail's interview becomes contentious and ends with Sydney walking off. Stu then calls, claiming to be at said restaurant to kill Tatum, who, unbeknownst to Sydney, had left with her boyfriend to be with her. Tatum then ran from her boyfriend when he did some sus stuff. Mindy and Chad end up stabbed, while Tatum's friends, Chloe and Lucas, are killed. Tatum flees but is captured by Ghostface, while her boyfriend Ben dies in the process. Ghostface takes Tatum home and lures Sydney back, where she is taunted by deepfakes of past Ghostfaces. Mark has also been stabbed and is there, which I felt was the best way to describe what happens to Mark throughout this movie. It's just stabbed and he's there. Anyway.
Yeah, that's pretty apt.
The killer is revealed to be Marco, stupid, and Jessica could have been better. Jessica reveals Sydney inspired her to kill her husband, and her disappointment at her not being in Scream 6 led to her to create a new Sydney by killing her in front of Tatum. Mark frees Tatum, Sydney kills Marco, and Tatum and Sydney blow Jessica's head off. Mark is taken to the hospital, and Sydney tells Tatum about the friend she was named after. So I've got thoughts. I don't know about you guys.
I had a few. I have a criticism.
Let's hear this.
And I really don't. This criticism kind of hit me towards the beginning of the movie. And it kind of hurt my my movie watching experience here. And I wanted to see what you guys thought about this. I don't think this is necessarily an indictment on this particular movie. I think this is more an indictment on
franchises.
No, maybe slasher franchises that have to do like I don't think Halloween fits into this. I don't know. I haven't seen enough of the Friday the 13th to know if they fit into this, but I know like I've seen the Scream movies many, many times, and so they definitely fit into this one. I watched Scream 6 earlier today in preparation just to see like, okay, oddly enough, had nothing to do with this one, but in these movies, we have been trained to keep every new character at arm's length. There is no character that you feel like, ooh, we should get to know them. There's no character where you're like, ooh, we should sympathize with whatever they're going through. Asa German, is that how you say his name? Asa German, the guy who was Gen V kid, Gen V actor.
The true crime nut.
The true crime nut in the movie. He has a very interesting story where it's like everyone is blaming him time and time again. And then he has this blow up in the bar where he's really tired of being treated like that, right? A very human moment. But the audiences of Scream have been trained to like he's doing that on purpose. He's gonna get them so good, And so it's like I feel like in these movies, the only characters I can connect to are the ones I've seen on screen time and time again. Nev Campbell, Courtney Cox, Mason Gooding, what's his sister's name?
Jasmine Savoy Brown.
Exactly. And like those are the only characters. And in this movie, I feel like Joel McHale's character, that's Mark from Scream 3, right?
No, it is not.
Written to be him, and then they didn't get him, and it's a new guy instead. But it's like, it definitely was written to be like hoping they would get Patrick Dempsey. Yeah.
Because it's Mark. He's a police officer. I just assumed they recasted him. I'm not too hurt by that. It happens in movies. I'm not like, oh, it's got to be a different character. It could be the same guy. They didn't explicitly say that, but I'm
His name's
under.
Mark Evans in
I
this.
think the
It's
last
a different last
name.
name here.
Oh,
Yeah,
is
the
it a last name? Okay, I was
is-
gonna look that up. I didn't have time. But it, like those characters though, feels like the only ones that we can connect with, and so it makes like introducing these new characters as very suspicious and like almost off-putting. Do you guys feel like this franchise has kind of trained you to keep all these characters at arm's length, and do you think that affected the way you saw this movie, Scream 6, even Scream 5, and like all the new ones recently? Do you think that has affected you with the new characters?
I mean, I think the way they train us to be kept at arm's length is necessarily a good thing, because I like the idea that
Did you say it is a good thing?
is a good thing in a way, because I like the idea that any of these characters can die at any point. That was what was so interesting about the first couple of movies, because you could get attached to these characters, but you didn't know if they were going to make it through the movie. I mean,
Well, but that's kind of what Corey's saying, is that he's not getting attached to them.
Yeah, and so like their deaths mean nothing. Like we see the main characters, like the ones I listed and the ones we were going over, the ones that have been in the past 3 movies now, they get like cut, like sliced here and there, but they get small cuts, and you're just like, oh, okay. Like especially after Scream 6, when you saw Mason Gooding getting stabbed.
Chad
Yeah.
I watched that clip last night. That scene is brutal.
And so it's like, okay, none of these characters are gonna die, and so it's like, yeah, you can get attached to them, but then when they're treated how they are in this movie, which is like, there's so many other stories and so many other characters to get to, and now we have to meet the daughter, who it's like at a moment I was thinking like, maybe it's her, and so like, yeah, that's fun to be like the whodunit aspect of it all, but it's also like I don't want to get attached to any of them. And that kind of hurts my viewing experience. And I walk away not enjoying the movie as much, because the entirety of the movie I spent not wanting to get attached to any of the new characters, which by the end, it's like, oh, the ones I already knew survive. So it's like I kind of ended where I started, in a sense, emotionally, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, but I mean, the exceptions to the rule is like, it depends how far back you're going. But if you're talking about the 5th one, then it's, I mean, a couple characters, I think on the first watch of the 5th one, I was like, I don't really care. Like the character Liv in the 5th one, who Mikey Madison shoots in the head, like she was kind of a nothing character.
Yeah.
But like the twins, who are now back for their 3rd movie, I remember even then thinking like, these are pretty fresh characters that I'm enjoying a lot. Like, I mean, and so like in that might be just performances, just how good those actors are. Like I think Jasmine Savoy Brown is really good, and she's really good in this movie, I think, too. But I think I'm becoming like just the biggest Mason Gooding fan in the world.
He's so charming.
I really do.
He is pure charm.
So I think it just takes performances, maybe. Like, I mean, obviously writing and performances, but like to like elevate these characters beyond like stock characters who are just like red herrings.
Yeah.
So I don't think anyone in this, like, even if I did get like McKenna Grace is the friend character in this movie, who I was like, oh, I know her. Like, I mean, I recognize the Gen V kid, but like, I
recognize
Gen V was fine. I wasn't like, oh,
O'Connor
hey.
too. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I kind of vaguely recognize these kids. McKenna Grace is the one I'm like, oh, she's really good in the Ghostbusters movies.
Dad.
So like, and she's is that her name?
No, she said dad. That was like
No,
at the end of Frozen Empire. She calls
don't
Paul
get him
Rudd.
started.
Calls
Corey.
Paul Rudd.
She's also
dad.
okay, even more so. She's the young version of one of the sisters in Haunting of Hill House. So she's like really good there too.
Whoa.
Either way, she's like the first one killed though out of the friend group, which I thought, okay, good subversion. Because honestly, in my head, I was like, she's the killer. Like she's too big of an actor to not be the killer.
Yeah, the choice to make her like the Tatum, like the antiquated Tatum for the daughter, was a very unique choice too, because she talks about this party that she's having, and you're like, oh, it's gonna end there. Expectation subversion.
I did think that.
I did like
biggest
that.
of
I
the
did
young
like
cast, and I'm like, oh my god, this is, you know what, Kevin, good start. Good start
think,
to the killings.
I think I bring the reason I bring her up though, Corey, is I think I enjoyed the moments that we got with that character to start before she's killed off early, and I think maybe if she, I don't want to undo that subversion, and also I think her death scene might be my favorite in the movie. I think. But if she was one that lasted longer, maybe I'd be more into it. Because I think it's not, I think I am not being kept at arm's length on purpose. I think it's just that the writing for these characters is never that, detailed enough to really let me get attached. Like the boyfriend character in this, I think, like the main daughter's boyfriend. I have the Wikipedia page up. Ben, red herring character, but also just like I mean, again, maybe it takes a second watch for me to really get into it, like you were saying with the Friday the 13th characters. But like, I really think that's a pretty nothing character.
Yeah, Ben was just the biggest red herring because he comes in and they recreate the dialogue from Scream 1.
Did you notice?
Like, yeah,
Did you notice that?
Oh, I was watching blah, blah, blah. And,
I was watching Stab.
Yeah, he says... And
so
then,
it changes from Psycho.
I
right?
thought, okay, this is...
But don't
levels of
fear
ridiculous
the
hitherto
Reaper.
undreamt of.
The don't
yeah.
hear the Reaper was the biggest, like... That is probably the second most song I associate with this movie outside of Red Right Hand.
Yeah, maybe. I think honestly the credit song too, that they redo at the end of this one as well. But like, I at first I was like, this is like cosmic coincidence that this is playing out the exact same way that first movie started, and then I was like, well, maybe like you just have to accept that the Stab movies, that first Stab, even in moments that were only like Sydney and Billy, somehow the dialogue is that close to what happened, as we saw in Scream 2 when they're showing that Luke Wilson scene. And that conversation plays out like the exact same way in like the exact same part of the school, even it's like a dead replica. And it's funny there, and you just kind of accept it. So it's like,
get this information?
I think you just have to accept that this is just that Stab turned out was really well researched in universe, and I guess that opening scene of Stab, he's like quoting it when he's recreating it here, which is still odd to do with the daughter of yeah, either way. But yeah, they're setting it up to be like, uh-oh, is he the killer?
Well,
But he was just too bland to be the killer. As we find out, though, that's just not really bland people can end up being the killer, unfortunately.
Whoa. Before we get off the boyfriend character, I did want to talk about how they like the red herring of it all, because every single character, as per usual in these movies, like there's a red herring, there's a hint here, and you see it all sorts of ways. With him, you get I was going to say Stumacher, you get the Billy Loomis like impersonation at the very beginning, which honestly, I was watching it, I was like, he did the hand signals like really well. I was like, oh my god, like, I was thinking. And I did enjoy that part. But the fact that like she opened up his laptop and she sees a video that he made of himself, like, I'm gonna get you from the it's like him like aggressively screaming it, and it's like, okay, this guy definitely did it, because why? And he's just like, I was just doing that to see if I could. And it's like, and that ends up being the truth of it all. I'm like, oh my gosh.
But that was honestly the moment where I knew that he was not the killers when they found that. I was like,
really?
Okay, it's not him. Like, that's not him.
So what
he was
they
just
did
you
was...
believe that he was just recording that? You believe that he was just like
established
in his
he was the
mind.
one doing the research. He was like trying to figure out how.
When did he have time to record that in the bar?
Shut up.
So my thing was, I'm like, okay, they're saying this guy's Billy, but he's really Derek. That's what they were trying to do. Like,
But also not as likable as Derek either.
Oh, Jerry O'Connell.
Unfortunately.
You know what as soon as I saw the deepfakes, I'm like, yeah, Dewey's good. Give me a Jerry O'Connell deepfake. And that's like the ultimate blow to Sydney, because it's like, yes, I love my husband, but this was the guy I could have been with, and this was like the first love of my life type deal. I think that would have been the better cameo, as much as I love David Arquette as Dewey, and I loved hearing the
I hated that. In this context, I hated it. Because I wasn't like, we're watching a deep fake of him. It's not him.
Yeah, so I rewatched Scream 5 last night, and that scene where he's like, they leave the trailer and then he decides, you know what, I'm going to go be the hero. And he's walking up behind Sam and it's playing, and it's like, I've decided to help you with your investigation.
Yeah, well, it works there because it's him.
It's amazing.
I heard it. I heard what you were going to say.
You got me. No, but it is really well done there. But yeah, I think using a Jerry O'Connell would have been a little better than Dewey in that moment.
Yeah, I don't think the deepfake cameos played well for me at all.
Those were the actors, though.
That was them. but it
And
just
Laurie
looked cheap.
Metcalf has aged a lot. They didn't de-age them, so they all are their ages now.
Which made me think it was kind of Stu at first.
I thought that was a good choice. Not using a young Matthew Lillard, like a de-aged Matthew Lillard, which also wouldn't have worked in this franchise.
All right, let's do the AI Stu talk then, since we're here. It's always been like, oh, Stu could be alive, throughout people would talk about it, and then they finally kind of have like a joke about it in Scream 6, like, oh, if you believe that he's really dead. So it's like a conspiracy theory in universe that he's alive. I was always, and I didn't like that line in Scream 6, because going into Scream 5, I thought, oh my gosh, what if they bring back Matthew Lillard? Like, I wasn't inherently against bringing him back, but the capacity of what I would want them to bring him back is not this, for one. Not like a deep fake thing, but I also wouldn't have wanted it to be, oh, the body was never found and he's alive out there. Like, that is ridiculous. Like, that is ridiculous. I would have preferred, the only version of it I would have entertained would have been like, he is incarcerated, because they do never say, like, that's why it was those theories, because they never came right out and said Stu's dead. If a version of it where he is incarcerated, and either after 25 years he's genuinely rehabilitated and released, or Sidney talks to him while incarcerated. And the thing is, I never wanted the version where he is the killer again. That's just because I don't know what you could do interesting, with that. The only interesting version of bringing Matthew Lillard back would have been something where he is not the killer, and he is just 25 years after he went on a murder spree, and not saying like, oh, he's a perfectly sane, fine guy now, but just not this dialed up to 11 version that we get here. That's just a deep fake. I don't know. It felt kind of cheap to me, but
putting aside the version of which he came back, do you think he added anything to the film?
It could have maybe been, but it almost, that's the thing. It kind of
the trailers kind of ruined it for me in a way.
I didn't see the trailers,
but it's never.
The first scene where he comes back, that first FaceTime call, would have played a lot better had they not edited the trailer to be the way it was. Because I think that plays better if it's just out of nowhere.
Like, I will say,
surely
I didn't watch the trailers at all. I honestly did. If it weren't for this podcast, I wouldn't have known this movie was coming out. I didn't see any advertising for it. I didn't see the trailer on TV at all. I mean, I think I watched TV as much as the next person does. I guess I missed that one. I don't know. I was all in the air flying during that one, and I was going back and forth between that and the Olympics, so maybe I just missed it. But I didn't see any trailer for it. I had no idea. And so when I saw Matthew Lillard on screen, I was like, oh my gosh, they brought him back. And that was him. So he was in this one. And I will say that added a little bit of an emotional connection to it for me, which I was, as we talked about to begin with this podcast, is something that I was hoping for and kind of needed. And so I think he did add something in the aspects of that. I thought he was scary when he was on screen. I thought like that part kind of put a chill down my spine, because I was like, I actually don't know. Like in my head, and seeing it through Sydney's eyes, I was like, this is AI. Like, this is a deep fake. Like, she's pretty certain. I was like, that makes sense. But I was like, part of me thought, even up to the end, I was like, oh my gosh, did they actually have him? The part that like that kind of confirmed that it was fake, but still like in the back of my head, I was kind of hoping that he came back, just because he's really creepy. He's really creepy. He's really good at what he was doing. I thought, like, just in general, he's really good at what he does. When they had the guy, like the guy from the mental health hospital,
Ethan Embry, Marco,
when they had him say like, oh, that's John, oh, as in John Doe. Oh, you want to see his room? You know what? Not supposed to, but I'll show you his room. I was like, okay, so this guy did it, and he is aggressively trying to say like, oh, that guy's still alive.
Red herring.
No, in my head I was like, this is definitely the guy that did it. That was one, I'll complete honesty, completely saw coming when he opened
Kudos to you because I genuinely, when he unmasks himself at the end, I literally looked at George, my roommate, who saw it with me, and went, "Who is that? Who is that?"
Oh.
Like, I do not remember him as a character. He made such little impression on me in that scene.
When he took off his mask, I squeezed the guy's hand next to me, and I said, "I told you so." And then
Corey, you gotta stop touching random strangers in theaters, bro.
No, we're going to holiday together soon. We're going on holiday together. Sorry, he's British.
So he's British.
He is British. But
I think
I thought he did add stuff. That's all I was trying to say. I thought Matthew Lillard did add to this movie.
I thought I agree. He did. If I hadn't
No, yeah, if you did, if it was a shock, yeah.
If
but
it
they
was
advertised it
more
heavily.
shock
His name is
value.
on the poster. His name is like one of the 7 names on the poster.
So
they were not.
You just can't do that if you want a big reveal and a character that I think we can all say we all really loved his character in Scream 1. If you're gonna do that, you have to make me more shocked. And they just didn't do that.
Right. Well, yeah, and that's just part of kind of the whole bringing the gang back aspect of how they marketed this movie and put it together. But I think while we're on the subject of Stu specifically, Cole, you said like that first FaceTime call would have been really shocked. I think the inherent nature of how he's in this movie with the deepfake kind of prevents this from being the case. But it's like, it was underwhelming to me because like watching an entire performance just through like handheld FaceTime calls is like, it's just, there's only so much, there's a hard cap on the ceiling there of, a performance of actually like having some menace, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe on a rewatch it plays a little bit differently, but I don't know. The crowd that I saw it with seemed to eat it up, but I wasn't really into the Matthew Lillard aspect of this movie. It was a very reactive crowd I saw it with on that opening night. People were really into it, more than I was. I guess I'm not a real fan, but yeah, that was the environment. It seemed to be playing well. It's making a lot of money. It is.
There's a difference between being a real fan and being just done with nostalgia at this point. And as much as I love Matthew Lillard, I'm one of those people that every time I watch the old Scooby-Doo movies, I'm like, please make a third. At this point, even if it's an animated movie, I'm one of those guys because I like him as an actor. He's very likable. And I think bringing him back is just like, hey, we got to put, for lack of a better word, asses in the seats. We fired Melissa Barrera. We have to do what we can to get the crowd back. And that just...
They fired her?
They fired her for...
Where have you been? Corey,
are you? Where is this rock that you're living under with your British friends?
No, this let me
know.
Okay, this is important because that is a big part of the problem of this movie, I think. Now, Corey, obviously after Scream 7 or Scream 6, I think you would assume the next movie is going to continue with Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega.
That is why I watched Scream 6.
Right.
We talked about Melissa Barrera not coming back, didn't we? We had like a whole conversation about it.
That's why your ignorance to this is baffling at the moment. But this has been like a big talking point
now.
Okay, this is like on a serious matter. This is like people were actively boycotting this movie because they fired Melissa Barrera early on in pre-production for Scream 7 because she made posts.
I believe they were pro-Palestine.
Yeah, pro-Palestine, anti-Israel posts at the beginning of this current war, like 2 years ago. I think it happened. So, and it shows you just how much things have changed with that and like the way that in general society views that. Because I think if she makes those exact same posts now or even a year ago, no chance she's fired, I think. So
because there's a whole actors union, I think.
It's not the union. It's just I think the public outcry. I think Spyglass did not realize the public would agree more with Melissa Barrera's take overall than theirs in this.
But
in this matter.
I know Mark Ruffalo has started like movement, but go on.
Sure. Either way, she was like taken off the movie, so they're not going to follow this character. Jenna Ortega's off the movie. That it's mixed reports of like, was it scheduling conflicts? Was it because the directors weren't returning, or did she quit in solidarity with Melissa Barrera? So it could have been any of those things. I mean, I'd imagine if they really wanted to find a way to get Jenna Ortega in the movie, if it was a scheduling conflict, they would have found a way to wait to get Jenna Ortega. So I'd imagine it was more on her end that she just didn't want to do it. So that's why this they had this desperate shift back to Nev Campbell. And I'm calling it desperate because I doubt that would have been the plan at all if they were just going to keep going with Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega. I doubt they would have been like, well, we have to pay Nev Campbell what she wants this time. Scream 6 made a lot of money, got good reviews. So I don't think they would have had this desperation to get Nev Campbell back unless they just needed somewhere to go because they got rid of their 2 protagonists from the last 2 movies. So they bring back Nev Campbell, they pay her what she's owed, and that's good. That's a good thing. And then they bring back Kevin Williamson, and they bring back Matthew Lillard. And it's like, look, guys, nothing to see over here. Look over here. Look over here. We got what you want. So ignore the controversy of firing Melissa Barrera. We have all these original people back. Isn't this cool? And I think that really is noticeable in like the haphazard nature that they probably had to put together a new Scream 7, because this is obviously not what the movie would have been with those the protagonists from the previous movies. That's not where the arc was going. They had to cobble together a new story, and I think you feel that in this movie, because I think Scream movies, and we talked about this a bit with Scream 6, and it's even more relevant here, is like Scream movies usually they're commenting on something, they have something to say, and they're smart movies. And the first movie is about horror movies in general. The second one's about sequels. Third one's about trilogies or final chapters. Fourth one's about remakes. Fifth one's about requels. And then sixth one, you're kind of losing it a bit, but like you could maybe say that they're angling to do some talk on true
I've
crime.
Heard Kevin Williamson did a thing where he's like, we don't want to make this meta anymore, which kind of isn't the point of these movies. They are meta slashers. They have, it's the genre of the meta slasher was created basically by Scream, which I think is kind of a silly shift. But Zach, go on. Sorry to interrupt.
No, I mean, no, but you're right. I mean, it's just saying but it's not really saying something. It's like the first movie and it's not like these movies have to have some grand point, but like you're putting a mirror up to like current like horror movie trends with Scream movies. And with this one, I don't think you are. And I think it's because it's the big thing here isn't, we're talking about requels or true crime or remakes like some of the previous ones. Is like the big thing is, we're bringing Sydney back. That's it. That's the marketing to this movie. And honestly, to their credit, that is actually in the narrative a little bit. I feel like so many characters bring up how she was not in New York, so like not in Scream 6, and that ends up being inherent to the killer's motive was that
why weren't you there?
Why do you care?
Have thought I'm going to save my thoughts about that for later. What was she just watching the news and being like, oh my God, when's Sidney Prescott going to show up to these murders?
Where's her name?
Where's Sydney? She's not at these murders.
She's supposed to kill him.
Okay. Anyway, but I think that's also why the killer reveal.
Camp impression.
The killer reveal is so lame in this movie. Because a lot of times the killer reveal is inherent to the story in these movies, and it's like the second movie. The first movie stands on its own. It's just about horror movies in general. The second movie, because I guess Stu's motive is related to like, we're making our own scary movie. So that is ingrained in the DNA of the first movie. The second movie, it's the mom. I know, but Billy had his own personal motive. You get what I mean? But the second movie was like, okay, it is all about sequels, and also it's the mom getting revenge from the last movie. So it's a natural sequel follow-up. The third one is Roman is the killer, and it's trilogy's final chapter. So it's all about going back to the original and revealing stuff, and that's what the killer's motive was related to that theme there too. The fourth one, Jill, it's about remakes, all the remakes going on in the aughts, and so Jill is trying to become the new Sydney. She's going to remake Scream where she is the Sydney, or remake Stab where she is the Sydney. The fifth one is about them creating... Yeah, it's great. And the fifth one is, them making a requel to the Stab movies. And so we got to find a way to get Sydney back. And like, we're creating a new movie for them to, have source material for. Sixth one, like I said, it gets a little shaky, but the true crime thing and that's the killer reveal.
Well, it's also the franchise mold at that point. The story's going to continue. You have to bring back someone from the last film to be the villain. And
well, either way, but my point is, the point I'm trying to make here is that the killer reveal is related to the theme of the story. So, and that's usually, and the sixth one had kind of a lame killer reveal, mainly because of logistics. It's just like, this really doesn't make sense of how they would have been able to make all these new identities in 1 year. No one would have figured this out.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing when I watched it earlier.
And also, they all just become Looney Tunes as well. Like, we talked all about it. They all just get too zany in the end of Scream 6. Everyone is always trying.
Great line.
Everyone is always trying to be Stu in these movies because Stu is so memorable in the last act of the first one. But the reason why it works for Stu is because he's like that the whole movie. And like once
And
he's the killer,
Billy's-
he's still acting like Stu. That is how Stu has been the whole movie. Whereas, these other guys in Scream 6, they're talking pretty normal up until the killer reveal. Then they all become Bugs Bunny. So like that's why it doesn't work.
I rewatched that, and the moment that took me out was she's goading Dermot Mulroney, and he screams, "He was a strong, virile young man." Like, dude, come on.
I mean, there's always humor involved in these finales too, and I even think this one at points I was definitely laughing at the movie, but there's a few times where I'm laughing with the Anna Camp character. I mean, the writing of it is so ridiculous, but I still was like, this is kind of funny. But like, this killer reveal fell so flat because it's just like there's nothing to say here with this killer reveal. Like this,
Mental health.
Nice.
I have my way. I would rewrite this to like make it
me
better.
Too. Yes, let's do this.
And can I share that with you guys?
Yeah, that I want to go to.
Yeah, I'll take rewrites. We're taking rewrites right now.
So Anna Camp is a self-professed Sidney Prescott fangirl, and her big thing is, I read your book and it inspired me to kill my husband.
That's kind of funny. I like that.
She says that that's early in the movie that she says that.
Corey, what were you doing with this couple next to
She
you?
does not reveal that she killed her husband early in the movie. No,
I'm saying in Cole's version of the rewrites, are you saying like that's what she would do? Like she would admit that early on?
No. I think my
Isn't this how she said it in the
version
movie?
is every time she talks to Sydney, it's clear she's like very interested in her.
Yes.
And then she says these lines, and they're noticeable to Sydney, and they make her kind of unsettled. And I think Nev Campbell plays unsettled very well, so that's why I think this would work. Each
like her
conversation, she says something that's inspirational that unsettles her, but it's an inspirational quote. It's something she picks up on, but she can't quite place it. And then
they
at
only
the
have
end,
like 2 scenes together though.
they have 3 or 4, but because she comes to the house after Mark gets stabbed.
I feel like there's only 2. It's that and the coffee shop, right? Am I?
Yeah, but you also have the line where she's like explaining to her son, like, you can't ask her this stuff. But I think you have more of those scenes, and then you have these quotes that make her unsettled. And then at the end, she's like, and I read your book, and that's when it clicks for her. Like all these inspirational quotes that she gave, she has trauma blocked out because, as we've seen, she's kind of trauma blocked everything. Her daughters has this relationship, and I think we've all had these conversations with our parents where they're like, no, you can't do this. When we ask why, they have this anecdotal story about when they were younger and they did this thing, and that's why they don't want us to do it.
My parents would just say, just because I said so.
Yeah, but then your dad would tell a story later that explains this whole thing.
What? Like why you can't say, like, do you have the bomb going onto an airplane? There's kind of niche. It's kind of a niche why you shouldn't do that sort of repetition.
But my thing is, you create this relationship a little better where it's more one-sided. From Anna Camp's, like, yes, Sydney is just being nice. You do not make them friends. You make it a sort of like, I'm being nice to this person. You make Sydney more guarded because that's who Sydney is. And she can only really be herself with Joel McHale in like those moments. But I think for me, that would have made this reveal that, yeah, I'm crazy and I killed my husband a lot better. Just from my point of view, if you can lace that into conversations, create this kind of dynamic that does feel a little more uncomfortable, because she doesn't even suspect her. We suspected Billy at the beginning of the first movie. Mickey, the creepy Tarantino film student.
I hear what you're saying.
On
yeah.
Randy's list.
So you wanted her to be creepier earlier, but it's just generally I think it's not even like, oh, we need her to be creepier. It's just we need more of a character there. She's in like 3 scenes. And like
and she's just yelling at her son
not,
in all of them.
And she is literally not in. At a certain point, Corey, you said you nailed it's this guy at the mental health institute is the killer. You nailed that. I didn't even consider that because I thought he's a one and done character. I thought he shows up in the scene and he's gone. Made that little impression on me. And he was gone until the final reveal.
It was just that one.
That's
one
great
part.
writing. That's always a great writing if someone has to ask who, like when they show up.
Not Peter, he knew.
But here's the thing: Anna Camp, big enough, recognizable enough actress, like you said. I did, and this is not like, oh, Zach is smart. It's just like, it's obvious when you watch it. It's like I whispered to my roommate, like I was like, during like the second half of the movie, I was like, Anna Camp's been gone for about 35, 40 minutes now.
I wish I had someone to whisper to when I was in this movie. I saw this alone.
So I kind of saw this one.
That's how I
saw
thought
this
I
one
saw it
coming
too.
down the pipeline, and I was like, this is just I'm getting closer and closer to just knowing this is not going to land. Like it's like
so like that's how it would have landed for me. Like lace it into like those scenes. She can bring these quotes up, and they can make Sydney feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, but is it more interesting though if she's like actually a friend, and it's like more of like that's why like the reveal in Scream 5 is like so good because he's such a good boyfriend, it seems like, and he's so likable. If Anna Camp is just weird the whole if Anna Camp is just so weird the whole movie, then it's I guess I would have taken it if it meant she's in it more, so she's more of a relevant character and it's a better reveal. But it just doesn't.
Remember the casting for her coming out, and it was plays her nosy neighbor who hates Sydney. That's how discussing film like
I was
put
getting a hate Sydney vibe from her, but until the
not
reveal.
until the very end.
Yeah, and then that really, because she didn't hate Sydney at all. She loved her. She loved her so much.
I was like, can you imagine if the discussing film was like plays the nosy neighbor who tries to kill Sydney and her friend?
The last update I did see was Woody's bald ass head from discussing film after the Toy Story.
That was so good.
Wait, I want to get into my rewrites. I want to get into my
Corey,
rewrites.
how would this work for you?
So I'll tell you, this is actually how, because throughout the movie, they're like, how do you think it's going to end up? How do you think it's going to end up? And they're trying to make you think that way the entire time. And so I got to the point where I was trying to like, okay, from here, I think this is where we're going to go. When they killed Ghostface at the very beginning,
In 6. Yeah.
What?
You talking about in 6?
No. Like very early on in this movie, in Scream 7, when okay, sorry, I thought it was a little bit earlier, but when
they
Gail,
kill Carl or whatever,
when Gail hits him with the car, I actually really liked. I liked the reveal that we did not know him, and I thought that was very interesting. But here's why. It was weird that they were waiting so long and waiting for permission. I was like, well, just. Who is it? But I did like that we didn't know.
Crime scene. There is due process.
Relax. Where we have, this is the 7th movie. Honestly, everyone's gotten a chance to see these movies. It feels like everyone we meet loves these movies and has an opinion on it one way or the other. Sydney gets calls in, was that Scream 3? Or what is she doing where she gets calls and she starts recording it and then she's like sending it over to the police departments? Or was that Scream 4? You know what I'm talking about? Where she's just like, and this is because she has caller ID now.
No, it's Scream 2.
Oh, that was that early on.
Caller ID.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just because she has caller ID and these guys are idiots.
Yes, and so it kind of plays into that where it's like, okay, you know what? Maybe people are taking it a little too far and it's just like a random guy, but Sydney doesn't think it's over, mainly because the story wasn't over and the script kept going. And so she knew that. But I actually would have, I thought at that point they were going to take a very different turn. And I thought this was going to be like, Sydney can't let go of the past. Sydney actually hasn't moved on. Sydney is still spiraling from her trauma, and it connects with with the story that we had already been introduced with her and her child. And so, but she takes it to another level, and she keeps trying to solve a crime and solve like who done it when there isn't anyone left. So then I don't know exactly how you would have like fit it all into itself, but like 7 movies in, we've seen every version. What's it? Wait, Cole. Cole, relax. So you get to, who else could it be? It's like this could happen from anywhere, and you can kind of see at that point it is holding a mirror up to like where things are right now, where it's like things are like the echo chambers that people live in, and it could have gotten into that whole thing. And it said like the whole Matthew Lillard thing could have been like she was just seeing that or dreaming it, or she was like, I swear to God, he's doing this. And so it could have been her going through that kind of a process, and instead of saying like, you know, she's faced her trauma or like come out the other side, and she's strong, holds it together, and she's very competent. To where like no, like people struggle, and it tells a story about that, and it tells a story about her trying to actually heal from what's going on in her past because she just realizes that she hasn't been facing it.
So you're saying basically,
and there's like a Fight Club aspect to it too. Where
Carl
she
is dead.
Someone.
Carl is dead.
Carl dies.
I just want to, yes, Carl, the most important character. He gets a cup of coffee.
Why did he do that?
Drink
Like, what
your
was that?
cups of coffee.
Why did he, if he's going to try to kill her later that night, what did he do? And he got there and he gave her the weirdest "I'm going to kill you" look he could possibly give to someone.
And she was very uneasy after that.
You know what's crazy is that guy has no lines, and yet when we unmask him, I was like, oh, coffee shop guy. And yet the guy at the fucking mental institute, he made less of an impression on me for the final act. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know.
So
you guys don't like that.
I just want to make sure I'm hearing what you're saying. So Carl dies. Carl's dead.
Yes.
R.I.P. Carl. And then for the next half of the movie, it's just her paranoid, out of her mind.
Yeah, and you see it like every single one of these movies.
Actually, because she handles paranoia really well, I think, for a person who's been attacked by killers.
But does she?
Yeah.
Does she? Because
I think it's a great idea. You finally have her crack.
Okay,
I
so
think
you see what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying.
When you really look at it, in terms of this is the 7th time she's been attacked by someone, I think all things considered, she's handling it very well.
This is the
sixth time. Okay. Yes, the 6th time.
She wasn't there.
Yeah,
she wasn't in New York, Zach.
If you want to count her mother's death a year before the first movie as a separate traumatizing incident, then 7 traumatizing incidents in her life.
I think that would be a very interesting way to take the franchise that seems to have been falling into this repeat, like rinse and repeat method, where this one, I don't know if you guys noticed this, was an exact reversal of the first one, where it starts at Stumacher's house and ends with the girl tied up on the back porch of a house. And it's the exact reversal of the first one.
That's what Stu says. We're gonna bring it back to where it all started. A girl
haven't we been bringing it back to where it all started like 4 movies in a row now?
That's what I'm saying. They've been rinse and repeat too much. That's what it's.
Well, that's also part of the point. Is like, you know, they're not really saying anything with this movie. Like the whole point of this movie is bring Sydney back. So like, okay, maybe they could have touched on like, okay, I don't want AI to ever be in a movie ever, but I guess it's hard to avoid the topic of AI in the sense that there are so many people online making these. Maybe it's just my Twitter algorithm is designed to upset me, and that's probably that's kind of how the internet works, I guess. But like, there's so many people like making their own like little AI versions of like different IP. Like, oh my god, like Wolverine fighting the Predator
doesn't want you to see.
Hollywood is done. Hollywood is in trouble. It's always so many people with that. These people who pay to have these verified accounts always saying that, and all these other verified accounts underneath it, like, wow, awesome. And it's always the guy being like, just getting started. And it's that over and over and over again. And these people need to touch either accounts, A, grass, or B, another person of either gender, depending on what they're into.
These are fake accounts.
If it was warmer, I'd go touch grass, but
either way, the point is, like, these are just the biggest losers of the losers to me, because they just think that people will, and you completely miss the point of what art is.
Zach thinks you're a loser.
They are losers.
Stop. They are huge losers, and they miss the point of art in general, because that is such content-headed space to think people are going to just want to watch an AI movie. And it's like, no, I want to watch something because I want to see what people have put in the work to create. It's always like, I made this in 5 minutes. Isn't that insane? And it's like, I would rather watch that exact same thing made by people over the course of, if they made it over 6 months, because then I'm seeing that like work. That's part of what makes art enjoyable in any aspect, music, like movies, like actual paintings, whatever. Either way, people do that all the time, and it seems like they're like trying to take control of these IPs and thinking that they can just dictate what happens with them and like play in these sandboxes and, you know, take other people's work and do what they want with them. Maybe you could have done something interesting with commentary with this movie, given that it's, they're co-opting these people, these dead people, from previous films. We're not really doing that though. It really just feels so surface level of like let's get Matthew Lillard back and like send Sydney on a ghost chase of like or goose chase, wild goose chase of. I guess it is a ghost chase too.
Goose chase. It's a ghost face.
A wild
chase.
ghost. Okay. And it's just like, let's make her descend into like, is Stu really alive? And it's just, we're not really saying anything smart. And the killer reveal reflects that because it's such a lame killer reveal. We've been talking about that for a while now, so I think we can move on. But it is just, I think it is easily the weakest killer reveal.
The pain of could not care less killer reveal kind of is what takes me out of this movie, because even with Roman, I can admit Scream 3 is not the best in the franchise, but Roman's reveal and his monologues and what makes him like interesting in that reveal is really well done.
I think so. I think it ages better.
I rewatched
after
all of the
these
killer
last two.
reveals last night because I'm like, okay, we're talking about this. We're obviously going to talk about the reveal. And Roman's speech, and then Sydney like making the comment like, "Jesus, get it over with. I've heard all this before," is one of the better lines in the reveals.
Scream
but
3 Sydney is my favorite Sydney in the whole series. It's my favorite version of Sydney. Scream 3 Sydney.
Wow, hot take.
I think
hot
I said
take
that
right
in
there.
Scream 3. It was like, I love that version of Sydney in that movie.
Whoa.
Sorry.
But, I mean, you're right, Cole. I mean, here's the thing:
Tell
is
that
like
to
I think
the couple next to you, man. Jesus.
all right,
That's where I learned it from Peter.
the reveal in Scream 3 is like, I think I didn't like the retconning aspect of it, but that was also part, like I was saying earlier, that's part of the thematic like thing that Scream 3 is going for. Like it all goes back to the original. Like it's cohesive in that sense at least. And then I think once you actually get there, I think Scott Foley's performance is enjoyable. Like it's not really that satisfying reveal in the sense that Sydney and Roman have not had a scene together that entire movie up until that reveal. So when he's unmasked, Sydney's just like, who? Like it's
That's
just
why
kind
the
of like
Princess Leia cameo works, because it's like the hidden sibling.
No, I don't think she's supposed to be Carrie Fisher's sibling. Oh, you think with Leia being the
yeah.
Okay, I don't think they were thinking that. I think they were thinking, what celebrity can we get a cameo of here? But who was in a famous trilogy before? But maybe so. But either way, point is that ages better because I think the finale here is just not satisfying in that regard. But
I wanted to talk about something specific that we've been kind of talking like, this was not the best way of doing something. I want to talk about something that I thought they did pretty well, and I personally enjoyed the relationship that Sydney and her daughter Tatum had, and I did enjoy like the very end when it was like kind of she was talking about Tatum, her friend, and kind of going through that whole story and kind of giving another. I mean, I don't know if I saw that she was like so outspoken and brave and all the stuff that she was talking about with Tatum, which I'm like, you know what? She had this entire other friendship.
That's what she wanted her to be. That's what she wanted.
That's what she wanted Tatum to be. No, but I did like that, and I like the entire relationship because there is a sense of like protecting your own, like if you want to protect your own kids, how do you do it? Like I don't have experience with that, Cole. I know you're a father of 5, so I know like you kind of have to deal with that on a daily basis. But like that's not something that I personally deal with, and so it's kind of hard to like really put myself in those shoes.
Man.
I know you're still
all
fighting
5 different
course.
mothers. Cole's 5 kids with 5 women.
With 10 women.
Yeah,
do that.
He's trying to be forced upon him. He doesn't think that's fair.
But Cole, you know, even
My
though
kids are the worst.
Cole, even though you're a deadbeat, I know you can still resonate with like, you could still resonate with having to like try to take care of your own kids. And so I did think that was a very interesting relationship and trying to protect her from the trauma, but it's like ultimately it's protecting her from the trauma that gets her in trouble. And she was like, you know what, maybe if I would have been honest with her, would have been telling her about my life and would have been preparing her for this, like the hardships that come with life, maybe she would have been more ready. I don't know how ready you could be to put a pistol up to someone's head and shoot. You know, like I don't know how much you
blow Anna Kendrick's face off. Yeah, you can't be ready for that.
Sydney should have put a 9mm in Tatum's hand at 5 years old to like just start getting her #gift took a gun. That type of deal.
I saw something that was comparing what Laurie Strode did with her daughter in the Halloween trilogy, and it's like, these are two types of trauma. You either block it out and you just avoid it, which
That's a really good comparison.
Tatum even admits, like, Mom, I don't know anything about you. The only thing I know about you is what I've seen in movies, which really rough relationship to have with your child, that you just really can't share anything. And then you have Laurie's daughter. Zach, do you remember her name? Judy Greer's character, his favorite franchise ever. Can't even remember the name.
I know,
Zach.
but it's
anyway.
Right.
So it's like, it's the point where Laurie, like, Laurie forced all of this on her daughter to the point where Child Protective Services was called in to take her daughter away. So it's very like reactive traumas, like what you do. And I think Tatum's plays better for me, that it's like, hey, I just really want to move on. I don't want to talk about this. That scene with the jacket, I think bringing
the
up
Scream 2 jacket?
Yeah, to which Tatum goes, oh, the semester at whatever college that we're not allowed to talk about.
She is pretty insensitive for her mom going through like multiple like psychotic killers and just be like, I just want to hear about it.
Well, I love the dad's reaction to the jacket debate where he goes, that one's on you.
I think that's it. That was good. That was. I think Joel McHale doesn't get like a ton in this movie, but I did enjoy his scenes.
His first scene was probably my favorite, when they're talking like, I was 17, and he goes, did I say 17?
That was a good scene. That was good banter. I enjoyed
I
the
meant
banter.
15.
And I enjoyed
just
seeing.
didn't want you to think I was too, you know.
Yeah. All right. But so Sydney, I think bringing back Sydney here after like the last movie, I think now, even though I was like, the reasons are kind of gross, and like, cause like it's about like, you know, because they fired Melissa Barrera, and like they feels kind of trying to play on nostalgia to bring her back or whatever. I still went into this movie like, okay, you know what? This is going to be the first time that Sydney.
Hopeful.
I was not hopeful. I was going into this movie kind of looking forward to seeing Sydney as the main character for the first time since pretty much, you could argue even Scream 2, because Scream 3, she's kind of sidelined for at least the first half of that movie. And then Scream 4, she's really sharing it with the younger cast in that movie. And then Scream 5, even more so. And then 6, not at all. So this is like the first time where she is billed as the protagonist. We are focusing on her. And I was like, even with all like my low expectations for this movie, I'm about to go see a movie where, the main character from my all-time favorite movie is like the focus again. So like, I'm curious to see what they do with her. And I think the motherhood angle here is a new place to find her, and it is interesting. And I think, I said that in like Last Jedi, like if you're going back to a famous character years later and they are the exact same, it's not really worth it. So like seeing
that's
Luke
why
different
Luke works. That's why Luke works in that movie.
So Sydney, she's in a different stage of life here. I think we could have played it up even more. I think it was kind of convenient writing to write out the two younger siblings. Oh. The two younger kids.
They're with Mark's parents in Denver.
I think. How nice.
Where's Sydney's dad?
I think having to watch her manage two different age groups of kids, like she has not shared enough.
3.
He's dead. They mentioned he's dead in Scream 4. So let's move on past that. Wow.
R.I.P. Should we?
Nice show prep.
Moment of silence.
No, we had the moment of silence in Scream 4. We talked about it then. All right. So I think if she had to manage like the teenage daughter problems that she's having here with Tatum and keep two children alive, like kids alive, that would have been something even more fresh and new for a Scream movie. Like actually like 7-year-old or 6-year-old kids or however old they are, I don't remember, like having to like keep them safe from a killer. That is like a whole other level of intense. That is a whole other level of intensity there.
I do want to say, looking at it just as from the outside world, I don't know if I personally would have been very comfortable watching two little kids in a movie like this.
Well, but the opening of Terrifier 3 is fair play, huh?
Look, as a father of 6, just got the text.
6 now.
Just got the text.
That's a pretty good bit. Don't laugh at your own bit and finish your take.
No,
I can laugh at your bit. You can't laugh too hard at your own bit where you can't finish your take.
I think, I
think I would.
He didn't have anything. He just wanted to say father of 6. No, I would have honestly been uncomfortable. I remember, Zach, you said you saw this with friend of the pod, or Terrifier 3 with friend of the pod, Toby, and it's like, it made him uncomfortable that, like,
Oh, yeah.
kids were getting murdered in that movie.
Fair enough, but I'm not saying they have to die. I wasn't wanting them to kill Sydney's kids. I'm just saying it would have been something a little bit more for her to do, even as a mother, to like have to keep these kids safe and like also keep her older daughter safe. But her older daughter has a bit more autonomy because she's a teenager.
Yes.
So it's a different dynamic.
I still think it was a good decision to not have them included.
I
agree. I see what you're saying. And I can
Mhm.
see the benefits of it is storytelling wise. But I think in a live action movie that you're watching, I think it's best to keep them out. That's just my personal opinion.
I also agree, but I also think having Tatum be a little bit more rebellious.
I also think they should outlaw dancing for people under 18, but that's just my personal opinion.
I'm kind of with a rebellious teenager trope.
Like a little more rebellious. Make it more difficult for her to take care of her daughter. Like,
I mean,
I think that's her thing. She wants to protect her kids, and you make it harder. You have said the best scripts are when you make it hard on the characters.
Oh, it's so
that
easy
is a direct quote from our Back to the Future episode.
I also said in Dune, when Paul Atreides follows his dad's order and doesn't sneak onto the ship to go with the early, people, Arrakis, that's an inspired writing choice.
Okay,
it's a subversion to have a kid that's reasonable.
Zach, that's what 500 years after our war with AI, 1,000 years after our war with AI.
Scream 7 is what started the war with AI in the Dune universe.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, you have to put it in perspective for a teenager. I
know, but I'm saying that's something we've seen a million times. That I don't think the movie gets.
We
more
haven't
unique.
seen it here. We have not seen it in this universe. Sydney was not like, Jill wasn't really like rebellious. I mean, she did kill her mom, but
it's the most rebellious thing is probably killing
your mother is pretty rebellious. But I think
it's a phase. She'll get over it.
She has these friends that are, the Tatums of her life, and also I think making her similar to Sydney would have been like a good creative choice. Like, she doesn't have a lot of friends. Here, she falls down in like a dog costume and 5 people are happy to like greet her.
That scene is absurd. When the drama teacher is like, "Where is your grit?" as this dog costume. Sidney Prescott's daughter used that in your dog costume performance in this high school play.
He is really good.
It's like a dumbed down version of that scene in Scream 2, where the guy is like, use your trauma or whatever in this college production of this tragic Greek play. It's kind of like overstepping, but it makes sense in Scream 2. This is like a scary movie version of that Scream 2 scene with the guy from Veep saying it. And it's
why didn't he have anything else to do besides that? And then you see him
because he went to the crime scene and then he was a suspect and then he wasn't. Clearly, he was at the crime scene and Sydney's eyeing him.
He's just there to be like, oh, is the movie going to be dumb and make him the killer? That's what they want us to ask ourselves during that moment. It's just like,
and then Ben's just standing there, hands in his hoodie pockets.
Yeah. I will say on the subject of bringing Sydney back, it's the thing I forgot to say this earlier when I was saying I went in kind of skeptical, but let's see, Sydney's back. I'm waiting to watch a Sidney Prescott movie. Sure. Them starting the movie over the opening titles with the Sydney's
Landman's Own.
Well, with her. Okay. Well, yeah, sure. I just meant literally the music is the Sydney theme from those first 3 movies. And I was like, damn it, they got me. Because that is the one thing I feel like I've said this before is like, in terms of nostalgia, a way to like reboot series or like harken up
themes.
Nostalgia.
You gotta have that
I
theme,
think it's
that
not bringing back
theme.
quotes. It's not like the guy, the doofus next to me, the ultimate Scream fan next to me, who was sitting up the whole time, like eating it all up. Like when Stu was like, "I always had a thing for you, Sid," and the guy was like, "Oh my god," like he thought it was. He's like, "Oh my god, that was from the better movie." Like that's just people who like eat up repeated lines. It's just like the basest level of intelligence to me. I'm sorry, that's really harsh, but it's just like, oh my god, like you are so easily entertained. But like for me, the way to do it, if you like, the key to unlocking nostalgia with me is not repeating lines or bring back characters. It's just music. Like if you bring back certain music, I think that is a very fair play. And them doing that to open this movie,
we talk about the Dewey theme all the time.
Yeah, but that
it doesn't
I didn't
work
like it in this
here.
one.
We don't. You didn't like it here, but we talk about it all the time.
When Dewey shows up as an AI deepfake.
Oh, they play
it's
it?
like,
yeah.
It's like, why
He
are they?
doesn't look
That's
good.
not him. It's not him. It's a deepfake, and it's like a weird moment.
David
to play
Arquette
that.
a letter on his appearance.
Henry season 1.
I was not into it there, but yeah, I think I enjoyed Sydney being back, and I think Neve Campbell is good in this movie. And I think the problems with this movie, they don't have to do with her performance at all, or even her writing. It's just the entire fact that this movie is just seems like the entire purpose is, oh, Sydney's back. That's what that's the overall thesis of the issues I've been laying out in this movie. But since we talked about the opening scene, we can talk about that now. Corey, you said you got Layman's Zone, and you were talking about the woman. I forgot her name, but I think she's fine here. Jimmy
Michelle
Tatro.
Randolph.
Jimmy Tatro is the man here. Corey, the Stab super fan. What other horror film is Jimmy Tatro in the opening scene of? And it's one I know you have seen and you like.
Oh.
Hey Zach,
The
do you
list
know
is
whose
not
daughter he's engaged to?
Is this gonna help me?
I'll give you a hint. It's a franchise we've covered.
Are you giving me a hint?
No,
No,
too
I'm
many
giving
questions, too many trivia games going on at once here.
I did recognize him, and I think
Well, you might recognize him from 22 Jump Street.
Halloween.
But
He's in Halloween 2018. I got nothing then.
He is in the opening scene of Wolf of Snow Hollow. His girlfriend gets he comes out, he's going to propose to his girlfriend, and he's going out there, and unfortunately she met an unfortunate end in the jacuzzi, or by the jacuzzi. Yeah,
Damn.
It's a tough start for this character. He survives, actually, and he shows up later in that movie in a pretty good scene. But yeah, I think this opening scene is maybe one of the highlights of the movie. I think the motion detector Ghostface is a good little set piece bit. Him burning her alive is brutal.
I wanted to ask, is this the most brutal Ghostface we've ever had?
I mean, here's the thing: is they're brutal in Scream 6. It's just everyone keeps surviving for no reason. But
Like, think
it's a
about the
short
kills.
knife.
Okay, so we have him
it's a big dog.
stab Jimmy Tatro through the eye. I'm assuming it's Ethan Embry because
You would
you
assume
know,
that.
I could not
He's
care less to start
probably
deciding
taken-
who was killing who in this movie.
Anyway, we have him Ghostface stabbing Jimmy Tatro through the eye. He sets Michelle Randolph on fire. There's the Hannah swinging back and forth and the holding the knife as her guts just fall onto the ground. And then the Asa German death, which is possibly the most brutal death we have, where he takes his head and puts it on the cake thing as beer and blood start coming out of his mouth.
What are they doing in his mouth?
That was kind of like a Michael Myers Friday the 13th ish type of kill.
I thought the exact same thing. I wrote that
Like,
down.
this is...
Yeah.
But this isn't Ghostface as, like, we know Ghostface. Ghostface isn't really as brutal like that, you know?
I feel like he has been the past. I think Scream 6 and Scream 5, he's pretty brutal in those movies. I mean, think of that ladder scene in Scream 6 is so mean. That is
It's mean, but it's not brutal. It's not like you wouldn't, like in this movie, you could see Michael
Her-
Myers making a lot of the same things, or a lot of the same kills, but you could not, I don't think the latter one passes that threshold. Like when he hangs him on the tap, like that's not, that's not like, and he just sits there and stares at it. Like that is not a ghost face type kill.
Yeah.
That was out of character.
Is this
I thought he was going to come back, but
I think this opening scene, and I think maybe the McKenna Grace death, I think are my two favorite scenes in the movie. I think the McKenna Grace death itself is like that might have been the creepiest concept to me, in the sense that you are completely powerless, you are suspended, and someone can move you around, fling you up and down. And you can't do anything to stop it, as you're just gonna get stabbed in midair. I think that's a kind of a scary scene. So I think that one and the opening are probably my favorite parts of the movie, at least set piece wise. I think anytime Chad and Mindy show up, actually, I think they kind of brought a lot of life to like the scenes they were in. So those would also be some of my favorite scenes.
They feel like they keep hitting the same
Tatum.
beat.
I know, but they are just
their
more interesting to me
scenes
than
with
anyone else in the movie.
Tatum are are probably the most interesting. I think that scene where they're just talking with Tatum, that's good because that evolves Tatum's character.
That's good.
And it's like, why are Chad and Mindy... Okay, the real question, why are Chad and Mindy even here?
They're learning. They're in an
No,
internship.
really? Because they're part of the core four. We hammered home the core four. So why are 2 of the core 4 here and not 4 of the core 4?
Because they
These
didn't
guys
post anything
are
about Israel.
Israel.
I heard that
Like-
10% of the box office of Scream 7 goes right to the IDF.
That's good. Someone needs
heard
to
that.
get the money.
Please take more of my taxes for the IDF.
I want to tell you guys something. I'm hitting my buzzer.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think I'm done. I think I probably could have done without this one, but I think this is a good, like, close the book on it. If you want to make money as a Scream franchise now, re-release the first 2 once a year. That's all you do.
I'll do it. I'll support it.
Exactly. Even years you release Scream 2 in theaters, and odd years you release Scream 1 in theaters, and you just do that until the end of time, and they will just keep making money. You know, people will love that to the ends of the earth. I don't think you need to spend any more money making these movies. I don't think you need to be torturing people by kicking a dead horse over and over and over and over and over again, especially when it's clear you guys, not you guys, sorry, not talking to you guys, talking about like the studio heads, the writers, the people who have been putting this together. It's like they are kind of put into a box when it comes to these movies, it feels like, to a certain extent. And I think that just, there's no need to, just do anything else. I saw a trailer for the movie Passengers. That looks scary. They could work on that, Let's go put them on something. They can go do something else.
Is this a reboot of the Chris Pratt, Jennifer Lawrence picture?
No. Maybe it's just Passenger. Did you see this? Did you see
Singular. this
trailer? I jumped.
No.
I did not.
I jumped in my
jumped.
seat. Yeah, this is how I met Peter. I jumped in my seat
Oh,
during
you have a
that
name now.
trailer.
Oh, he has a name.
Yeah, it was Peter.
You guys should start a podcast.
What would we even call it? Just Best Buds or something? I don't know.
You take that back.
I think, Corey, I considered that as well. I thought, like, there's a good chance I'm going to hit my buzzer. And then, sometimes I feel like the original concept of the buzzer, I pictured, like, sometimes, like, when we're talking about series that we already know well, and I know the exact point where it goes off the rails, and I'm like, God, if I could just stop the series there, So I would retroactively hit it after Scream 6, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe even after Scream 5. Because I like Scream 6 as a movie, but I think if it was, like, a nice bookend to end the series, I think Scream 5... that would have been a perfect 5-movie arc, because Sydney's in that one too, but she's not the main character but it wraps up the whole legacy of the series really well.
That's true. That's true.
I don't like ending series on bad notes, and I think there could be a way, but hear me out. I think there could be a way if there was a good Scream 8, but I think a lot of things would have to be different about it this time around. I think you can't just be like, just make one just to make one, which is what this one felt like. I think Scream 8, how do you get me back involved for Scream 8? It's not, oh, we're bringing back Sydney, we're bringing back Gail. In fact, I'd probably be more excited if they were like, no Sydney, no Gail this time.
I'm done with Courtney Cox.
Here's the thing.
I think
they could if
Gail
they announce
has worn out her welcome since Scream 5 for me.
Yeah.
Each movie, I'm like, why is Gail here? Why is Gail here? Why is
if
Gail
they,
Cole,
I'd be
you're not
more
gonna believe this, Courtney.
I'd be more excited for Scream 8
I loved you and Friends, Courtney.
if they were like, okay, our bad, Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega can come back, and then Scream 8 will, no Sydney, no Gail. It will be about the core 4 again. I think I would be
so weird though.
Here's the thing is, I'd be fine with that if also the movie had something to say. It's not just, oh, let's continue their story. It's like these Scream movies are not like Friday the 13th movies, in the sense that Friday the 13th movies are a very simple formula, and it's simple, and it's kind of a high
murder.
There's a low ceiling, but if they nail it, it's just like they don't have to be smartly written movies, and you get away with some like stretches of credibility and imagination there, or believability, I should say. And Scream movies started out like really smart, grounded movies, and I think we're at 7 movies in, we are really stretching that. We are stretching that more than we have ever stretched that, and it's because you can only figure out ways to keep audiences guessing and keep certain characters alive, certain fan favorites alive so many times without it just being like past the point of believability. So like, and that's kind of what we're running into here with Scream 7 and Scream 6 even. Like, we were past the point of believability with the killer reveal in Scream 6 and keeping fan favorites alive in Scream 6. Like that, we were feeling that there, and it's even more so now in terms of just like, how do you keep audiences guessing? How do you keep them from predicting the killer? By just not having the killers be even relevant characters. You know, like it's just, we're running out of ideas to keep it fresh, to keep it smart. We're running out of things to say. Yeah. I think there has to be a gap of time before like Scream 8, if you are going to make one. I don't think there will be. I think this movie's making a ton of money already. So really? Scream 8, I bet, goes into production before the end of this year. I bet Scream 8. I would not be surprised if Scream 8 is out by October 2027. I would not be surprised.
My birthday.
Cole, you want to write that down?
Yeah. Hit Dictionary.
Yeah.
So there's only so many ways to keep a movie like this grounded. But I think what could get me back is, I'd be more into a Melissa Barrera led movie than a Nev Campbell led movie going forward. But even more important than that, just new blood, like in terms of behind the camera specifically. Like if they announced like a talent that, like if they were like Zach Kreger, who did Barbarian and Weapons, you have Scream IP. You can take this story wherever you want. You can do whatever you want. I'd be more into that than say like, definitely more than if they were like, Kevin Williamson, come back and write and direct the next one. I think, with all due respect to Kevin Williamson, my hero, who wrote the first 2 Scream movies and a lot of Scream 4, great writer, I think you can feel
also wrote Dawson's Creek, R.I.P. James Vanderbeek.
Sure. I think Scream 8 or Scream 7, you can kind of tell, especially when you juxtapose it against like the last 2 movies who were directed by Radio Silence. This movie does not feel like it was directed by like a director with a lot of visual flair. This movie was kind of flat looking, kind of directed flat. I mean, there was intense set pieces at times, but it doesn't look great. And I think, especially in the finale, you can feel like it's kind of clunky, the way it plays out, the blocking of it all. It's just kind of, all of it feels very uninspired. And I think you need something fresh. You need a fresh talent, a fresh perspective on the material to get me excited about Scream 8.
And he quit because the internet got very mad at him.
Right. And that was also part of the same thing. That's why this movie just kind of doesn't justify its existence. All the controversies that made them kind of scramble for this story that we ended up with, you can see like the lack of time and care put into this story. And all that lack of time comes from the controversy. And it was self-inflicted, and I think it shows. So I don't think it's an awful movie by any means. It's almost like turning into my review section here. It doesn't frustrate me the way that Rise of Skywalker frustrated me to that extent, but
it's aggressively okay.
Yeah, I think you can see that the lack of ingenuity here for sure. And so I think a new take on it is what I would want for Scream 8. But I don't know. Do you guys have a favorite scene in the movie that you want to say before we move on, or anything else?
Oh, no, I think I talked about everything that I specifically wanted to talk about.
I did want to say, as soon as I saw the garage and that they were redoing the garage, I'm like, final set piece right there. Just final set piece.
It is insane that you talk about someone dying from being cut up, like their head being squished in a garage door, and then you don't kill someone with a garage door. Was almost like just, I don't know, malpractice. That's the word I was looking for.
I kind of appreciated the restraint. I don't know if I could do any more nostalgia. I don't think I had it in me.
That would have been, especially with Tatum, like a character named Tatum in the
That would have
movie.
been in poor taste. That would have been in poor fucking taste.
That's how you kill
What are we
Anna
talking
Camp.
about here?
Dude, you killed Joel McHale that way.
And then she looks over as she's killing Anna Camp,
these.
as the Tatum character is killing Anna Camp with the garage. She looks over and it's the Ghostbusters version of Harold Ramis, that version with Rose McGowan as Tatum, standing there hitting the garage button with her, like, we did it together. We got this,
Well, she's alive, so that's not as in poor taste, but it's still in poor taste.
What is she up to these
ridiculous.
days? Cass.
I just saw that as soon as he walked in there, and I'm like, they're redoing the garage. I'm like, somebody's dying here at the end of the movie.
Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me, Ghostface. I want to be in the sequel.
What if where's Parker Posey? Who else can we bring back? Bring back Parker Posey from Scream 3. Like, bring them all back.
Where do you work? Woodsboro High?
Line boy.
On to the awards season.
Apparently they strayed off course, and we're fairly certain they're in guerrilla hands. So why don't you use the regular army? What do you need us for?
Because some damn fool accused you of being the best.
Well, this says that this says Cole goes first. I'm sorry. This says Cole goes first. Cole, who is your MVP?
Well, since Zach said we did a reset, and I probably used her already, I'm going Nev Campbell.
Yeah, that makes sense.
She is the final girl, as Anna Camp put it.
Past her prime.
Go. Just leave. Go. Just go.
Can I? Sorry.
That being said, she leads a movie that I think we all can agree wasn't written to the best it could be, but, you know, Nev Campbell is the star, and she deserved an ending worthy of her star. I don't think this is it. I hope I get one more story with her, but overall, I think she carried this movie to the end. She deserved a better one.
This movie to the end. Zach, who's your MVP?
I almost just started reading my review.
Go ahead.
Because that's what I was looking at. You know what? I'll go. Oh, wait. I had it written down here. What's her name?
Isabel May.
Yes. I'm going to go Isabel May. I think she's a fine enough character, but I enjoyed all my scenes with Sydney's daughter in this movie.
She's a fine enough character, Jack.
I mean, I think I could have used even more scenes with her and Sydney. I think their dynamic together would have been more interesting if they were together for more of it. But I think the inevitable screenmate we're going to get, what I would put the betting odds on is it's Isabel May in college. That is what I'm assuming is going to have
That'd be so different.
With the jacket, though. But
we've only done that twice, though, is the thing. So rule of threes, we got to do another college.
That means this one's got to be funny.
Mm-hmm. And this time, Ghostface is going to be brutal, and it's all going to go back to the original. I bet this time.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's how we're going to market it. Boom.
No.
Money. Get me in the writer's room for Scream 9. Gonna do it again. All right.
Oh, God. My MVP.
Yeah, but go right ahead.
Are you done?
Yeah, I might as well be.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I had nothing.
Share your thoughts and feelings, buddy.
Isabel May, good. Isabel May, good.
Good.
Done.
Good.
She's single.
My MVP is Cole. What? You just simply don't need another child, man. Okay, we've gone.
Maybe number 7 is the one, man.
Yeah,
that's what they thought with this franchise too. But no.
Oh, Zach is so good at that.
Scream 7.
Just turn it off at this point, everyone.
Stupid.
Corey.
Oh gosh, my MVP is Matthew Lillard. I know we talked about how we didn't necessarily enjoy that he was brought back for the reasons that he was brought back, but he had nothing to do with that. You know, you can a man can only
kidnapped him and brought him to set.
But you know, I
paid him millions of dollars to be in this movie.
The performance that he brought, I thought he was legitimately scary. I couldn't tell if he was real or fake, and I think that was partly to his credit there too. I enjoy seeing him in Scream, and yes, I don't think this is the way I wanted him to come back. But when he is here with what he was given, I thought he did a pretty good job. And I honestly don't know if there were many other huge, big, shining spots besides Nev Campbell. I thought Nev Campbell was my number one. And I thought she did a great... I thought the way way she reacted to Matthew Lillard was really good too. And so I just thought they played off each other well, even though it was through a screen and you can only do so much through that. But Matthew Lillard was my MVP for Scream 7. On to the review section.
Says that they insist on outside opinions.
What kind of opinions?
Well, your kind, not to put too fine a point on it. I mean, let's face it, in your particular field, you're the top minds.
Cole?
When originality is too hard, go back to what you know. And when that doesn't work, guess we'll have to wait for Scream 8. 2 out of 5.
Oh, no.
No.
No. I stay
in the home. No home. Zach?
Zach, you go.
Forgot about that Family Guy bit. Right.
No.
I stay. Okay.
Scream 7.
That was originally going to be my letterbox review. I was going to type the title Scream 7 and then in parentheses down. It'd be like to the tune of 6. Sung to the tune of 6.
Sung.
Okay.
Oh, Cole's gone.
Okay. All right. Sydney still might not be, but the Scream franchise is well past its prime. High on the artificial, low on the intelligence. 2.25 out of
Cole
5.
Sack is so good at things. Oh,
He
that's
gave
like
it a 2 out of 5 too.
That's like his second one today. That's so good. How does he keep doing it?
Wait, what did he say?
What was the one before you said?
Scream
That's
7.
right.
Scream 7.
No, when you said that, we thought Cole's 7th kid was going to be the one that makes it big. And you were like, they thought that here too. That was so good. You're so good at that.
He was not applauding the 6-7 joke.
No, we already laughed at that one again. Scream 7.
Okay, people are going to turn us off if they hear us do a 6-7 joke.
I think they should let Heim Bloom make Scream 8. I think he'll get it right on track. And then he's going to start by shipping off Nev Campbell, ship off Courtney Cox, trade them to the Red Sox.
No main characters are coming back, and somehow Lars Newbar will still be on this team.
Lars Newbar has been cast in Scream 8 as a nosy neighbor who hates Sydney.
No, Lars Newbar is the caretaker from the mental hospital.
Scream 8 has been described as the true detective of Scream films by James Gunn.
My review. In a movie about how no one can have a happy ending, it seems like they very much take their own advice, forcing the entire cast and crew to continuously beat a dead horse that is basically now just a skeleton. While still hitting some beats that resonate with longtime fans like myself, it did not do anything new enough to justify the torturous killings we see on screen. 2.5 out of 5.
So I was the low one here.
Why do you hate movies?
On to the post-credit scene.
Oh, I was going to let Cole give his Scream
I'm sorry.
rankings.
I'm sorry. I completely
Are we
forgot
doing
about
our
that. We
rankings?
should
Go
have
ahead,
done that
Cole.
before we moved on.
Okay.
I'll go first. I'll let you think about it for a second. I'll let you think
I don't
about it
have
for a
my
sec.
phone on me.
Well,
either.
there's only 7 of them, and the titles are pretty easy to remember as well. But I'll go from 1 to 7. I'll do it your guys' way and go favorite to least favorite. Scream, Scream 2, Scream 4, Scream 5, Scream 3, Scream 6, Scream 7. So that's my 1, 2, 4, 5, 3, 6, 7.
So I'm gonna go Scream,
Mm-hmm.
number 1, then
Okay, good.
Scream 2,
Nice.
then Scream 5,
Look at this.
then Scream 4,
Mhm.
then Scream 3,
Yep.
then Scream 6, and Scream 7.
Can we stop saying Scream 7?
You kind of said it. You kind of said it like the way that like Danny McBride goes fixins. I need some.
I need some fixing.
Better
we
clean up them
suck.
Okay,
fixins
I'm gonna
right now.
go from best to worst. 1, 2, 5, 4, 6, 3, 7.
On to the post-credits.
You're still here. It's over. Go home.
Scene.
Corey, you're laughing at 6-7 jokes too much.
No, that's the first time it's ever gotten me. I don't know. It just came out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting Zach to do that.
He's so good.
Gosh, I'm gonna have to text Peter
Alright.
about that one. Post-credit scene. What we're covering next? We are continuing the Friday the 13th. What are we calling it? Are we calling it just? 'Cause, I mean, I guess it's the franchise. We're just covering it as a
continue to
franchise.
decide.
But it's like, but we're covering it only on like Friday the 13th. I feel like we're like innovators in the industry right now. Like
We're the
I don't
only
know.
podcast ever, I'm sure, dropping a Friday the 13th episode on a Friday the 13th.
I mean, I only follow one other movie podcast, and I know they're not, and so I think we're like kind of innovators in the industry.
The one I follow
we're-
does it. Yeah, they do it.
Ah, dang it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That's 50%, and we're on the pot. Oh, now we're in the majority. Dang it. Okay. But we will be covering part 2, part 3, and part 4. Is that right?
I just rewatched part 4 last night. I am amped.
Whoa.
I'm just amped to talk
Oh,
about
look at that. You know what? They were talking about that. Kind of bring it back to Scream 7. They were talking about Friday the 13th at the very beginning of the movie. That was part of the trivia on
They
the phone.
did. Yeah, I remember thinking about that.
I covered my ears. Because
They also bring it up in Scream 6, right? When Gail or not when what's her name? What Mindy? Is it Mindy?
Yeah.
When Mindy and and God, what's her name? What's Haiti Pantiere's name? The
Hayden
Scream 4,
Panettiere.
the Scream 4, Scream 6.
Kirby.
Kirby. When Kirby and Mindy are talking about like horror movies, and she's like, they're like best Friday the 13th, and then I think Mindy says part 2, and I think Kirby says final chapter. I want to say
She does. Yep.
yeah,
Because she has a crush on Corey Feldman.
Yeah.
I almost looked at Corey
I
Feldman.
don't, but I still think part 4 is the best.
It's not very woke of you, Zach, but that's fair.
Either, yeah. Looking forward to talking about that. You know what? Relevant. I read an article today from IGN, or last night, I guess with Scream 7 coming out, they thought it was relevant. They posted the 15 best slasher movies of all time, and the only sequel that made the list. I don't think it was a greatly put together list overall, but the only sequel that made it was Friday the 13th Part 4. So I was like, wow, look at that. So
interesting.
Looking
Over
forward to
Scream 2.
I didn't think it was a great list. I think Scream 2 is definitely a better movie than Friday the 13th Part 4. But
gosh,
I appreciated that the attention they gave it. Yeah. So yeah, talking about all part 2, part 3, part 4. The format of that, we're working it out. But
it's gonna be very similar to the Alien one that we did a while back. I don't know if we have anyone that still
True fans
listens from then.
True fans.
But we're gonna cover them all, do a little bit of a abbreviated version of everything, and then kind of do a summary at the very end. Kind of
there will be less to say about each one of these than the Alien films. I think these are simple films.
Okay.
So
Okay. I haven't watched any of them yet, so that's exciting. I need to get on that.
Yeah.
I know. I'm gonna start. Calm
you
down.
have a
Calm down.
week.
It's way too much time. So much time. But okay, sounds good. Well, thank you for listening. Thank you for. Oh wait, what have
You guys been
watching?
watching anything?
I've been watching a lot of TV shows. I've been watching a lot of TV shows. School Spirits season 3. I didn't get into it at first, but I started watching and I was like, okay, I remember why I got into this, and it is still very captivating. I think I recommended seasons 1 and 2, and season 3 is no different. It is very emotional this season, but also
Peyton
somehow
List is good. She is good.
She is good. I think she is going to have a long career. She is really good. I think it's going to be like TV's Peyton List, like TV's Scott Foley. I think it's going to be like TV's Peyton List. I've seen her in a lot of TV shows though. I mean, this is just the most recent one, but she was in a Disney show too. Like, was she in? Anyway, that one's good. I don't want to harp on it too much. I'm trying to think of what else I'm watching. Oh, and I restarted Game of Thrones. It's been taking up a lot of my time.
Where are you stopping at?
I'm not going to stop. I'm going to go all the way through, and I'm going to appreciate it all. Stop being such a wimp, and I'm actually going to appreciate art for what it is.
I actually just finished the audiobook of the first book last week. I'd read the books, but like 12 years ago, like physically read them. So I'm now just kind of audiobooking them again. Where
are you going to stop?
Well, when is George Martin going to stop? Because he kind of did already. So so I want to start that process now because I have this naive belief in my head that he's going to announce The Winds of Winter is dropping in 2 months. Guess what, fans? It's done. And it's dropping soon. So, and I don't want to be caught off guard and be like, oh, it's been so long since I read the previous 5.
Why in 2 months?
I'm just throwing a number, like a random date.
I was going to say, is he doing a press conference or something?
No. But Why
are you predicting that today?
All right. The point I'm making is that I wanted to in this fantasy land where he announces that it's coming out soon, I want to have read the previous ones recently. So I'm ready to just read Winds of Winter right when it comes out. And I was saying that to my brother Sam, and he we were talking about the prospects of Winds of Winter coming out, and he's like, take a step back and listen to us. Listen to how stupid we are right now. Like, this is just not happening. And it's like, and you know what it reminded me of? It's a niche reference, but it's like, what I'm doing now, talking about the hypothetical of, I want to be ready when Winds of Winter comes out. It's like those 2 pirates on the Black Pearl during the finale that Elizabeth sees, where they have this whole feast in front of them and they're just waiting, and they're like, let's decide what to eat now, just so we're ready when the time comes, because they're just ready for the curse to be lifted. And they're so excited. And they've been waiting so long. That's what it feels like to be getting ready for Winds of Winter with zero indication that it's coming out anytime soon. And I think we put the odds at 90% chance Winds of Winter will eventually release, because it has been since 2012, and he says he has written over 1,100 pages. So it's like, but he just keeps reworking stuff. And it's like, well, 1,100 pages, that is enough for a damn book. That is more than enough,
My thing is,
but he's supposed to have one more entire one after.
Better than the one we got.
I'd
any
imagine
ending-
the ending to Game of Thrones might have thrown him off a bit. So he might want to change some things, and that requires reworking, and that's part of why it might be taking longer. But the fact that he's been working on Winds of Winter this long, and there's supposed to be a 7th and final book after Winds of Winter, and he's 77 years old. It's just like, I just don't know. But on a positive note, I know you guys were high on Knights of the Seven Kingdom. I haven't watched the show yet, but I didn't start the show because I wanted to read the novella first, the first novella of the Duck and Egg books, which is called The Hedge Knight, and I loved it. Like, I adored it. It was so, so good. So I'm really excited to watch the show. And I haven't started No smut.
Smut.
Very little, extremely little, compared to the main books in the show. It's definitely kind of counter programming. It's much more uplifting and heroic than, a lot of times good deeds do go punished in the main Game of Thrones. Ned Stark got punished for doing the right thing.
Whoa, I'm about to hit there. Don't spoil it.
But, the
Just
point is,
spoiled the series that's been out since 2011.
Sir Duncan the Tall is a cool character. Seems like he does the right thing. His heart is in the right place. And it's nice to follow a character like that. With Game of Thrones, you're also jumping around to all these different character POVs. The Duck and Egg book is a novella. It's like 100 and something pages, so short. And you are just exclusively in Sir Duncan's POV. So it's a nice, difference between that and the main Game of Thrones books, which are long and sprawling, but also amazing. They're amazing books, but this is a nice bite-sized little story set in that world. So I'm excited to watch the show. I'm really excited to watch it now and I've now started the second novella, so I'm getting a head start on what season 2 will be. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well,
excited.
Well, from our
I
podcast.
don't get to talk.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you already went. I wasn't listening for a second.
I started watching season 2 of Paradise, starring Sterling K. Brown, St. Louis guy. Went to MICDS, but I was thinking about this while I was watching the show. Zach talks about Timothy Chalamet as like the actor who gets him to go see movies. Like, if Timothy Chalamet's working, he's going to go watch it. That's how a Sterling K. Brown show is for me. He is the guy who's like, okay, this new show's coming out. If Sterling K. Brown's in it, I'm going to watch it.
Like Scott Foley for Corey.
Yeah.
I don't really watch that much with Scott Foley. I just noticed him when he's on TV.
Revelation here.
Nice. I started watching Mindhunter as well, so I'm a little late on that. Unfortunately, too late to get the viewership up for them to make a season 3 because it was canceled years ago. Because not enough people were watching it. But
if only you were watching it back then when I probably told you to.
Oh well, yeah, if only. I just first they came for Mindhunter and I said nothing. So that's on me. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm almost done with season 1. It's very, very solid.
Yeah, it is. Well, from our movie podcast to yours, thank you again for watching. Thank you again for listening. And remember, we're doing 3 movies next time, so watch those. Or you know what? Just join us and listen.
Where are they streaming?
They aren't not
maybe?
streaming?
Pluto TV. I think you could watch them with ads on Pluto TV for free.
I tried to kill myself.
You can watch them with ads on Pluto TV, I think, for free. I own them because I'm crazy like that, but...
Crazy?
I'm seeing Peacock.
Peacock? Yep. Peacock.
Oh, is that right?
Is part 3 on Peacock as well? Yep. Part 3 is on Peacock. Is part 4 on Peacock? Part
I'm
4
just so excited to talk about these.
Is on Paramount Plus. Look at that. Okay. Wait, is that the final chapter?
Final chapter is part 4. Oddly enough, of the 12 movie series, but yeah, final chapter is part 4.
Well, that's exciting. So, from our movie podcast years, until next time, we can watch the screen or the Friday the 13th, the part 2, part 3, and final chapter.
And 4.
Yeah. But thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until then, just keep watching movies. Bye.